What we're learning now is that according to the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement and also an expert that was hired by the Uvalde County to review the policies of the sheriff's office on that day, we've discovered that the sheriff, according to these records, has not actually had any kind of active shooter training. We also learned today that on that day, on May 24th, and really for several months after that, Anderson, that the Uvalde County Sheriff, there was no active shooter policy in place at that time. That has since changed. They instituted a policy in September. Hard to believe all this information is just now coming forward. We also tried to get information from officials, from a law enforcement official who was present on that day of the shooting, and the Uvalde County District Attorney who was running this entire investigation. She has refused to allow investigators to answer any of these questions. And of course, all of this, families today expecting to get some kind of answers, and they didn't, Anderson.
That's the mission now,
The sheriff?
Yeah. One by one, they're going to fall.
Just over 6 months since the Robb Elementary shooting, families of the victims gathering in force at the Uvalde courthouse.
I don't trust anybody at this point. I don't. We haven't got any information from any of them. Our information has been coming from you guys.
They're still demanding to know what failures allowed the 19 children and 2 teachers who died to go without help for more than an hour while they were trapped alone with a gunman. At a county commissioners meeting, a highly anticipated independent review of the local sheriff's office revealed the department had no active shooter policy at the time of the massacre.
There was no active shooter policy. There were only definitions. It did define what active shooters were, and there were portions that dealt with critical incidences and how officers would respond to that, but there was no active shooter policy.
The report did not examine the actions of the officers and their failures that day, only the policies that were in place. Last week, a CNN investigation into the department's leader, Uvalde Sheriff Ruben Nolasco, revealed the highest-ranking law enforcement official in the county failed to organize a response, even after he was informed of 911 calls from inside the room, asking for help. Nolasco says he didn't hear that call, even though body camera footage showed he was within earshot of multiple radios and was told by another officer on scene.
Okay, what we can do is move everybody.
The sheriff gave incorrect information about what time he arrived at the school and what he communicated to other law enforcement leaders. Nolasco did not appear at this meeting and has not responded to CNN's request for comment. Speaking in November, he said he thought his response was adequate.
Hi, Madam DA.
Someone who did make a rare appearance, speaking only behind closed doors, the Uvalde County District Attorney.
Any response to that?
Christina Mitchell is blocking any records or videos from being released, while her investigation into the failure is ongoing.
What are you waiting for, ma'am?
Her reasoning is wearing thin on the victims' families and the Uvalde mayor, who sued the DA last month, asking a judge to compel the release of information to the city. Mitchell has said her investigation could take years. She continues to refuse to answer CNN's questions.
Hey, coward. Lay down. That's all right. We know you're a coward.
Also appearing publicly for the first time since a CNN investigation into his actions, Mariano Pargas. Pargas was acting Uvalde City Police Chief on the day of the shooting. A CNN investigation revealed he had direct knowledge of the phone call and even confirmed the details with the Uvalde dispatcher, and still failed to organize help.
All I can say is that a lot of stuff been put out there is not the way it happened. That's all I can tell you.
What, sir? I'm Shimon Proga from CNN. Tell me.
I got to get back
No,
on the
I
meeting.
understand that, but we've been trying to talk to. We spoke on the phone.
Yes.
So, but what you're saying, some of
I
the
got my
stuff that
commission meeting to go.
I understand that, but you're saying that some of the stuff that was
Andy.
put out there is not accurate. So I'm asking you what that is.
Can you keep them?
Pargas resigned from the police department before the city could fire him, but is still a Uvalde County commissioner, a post he was reelected to in November. After the meeting, angry parents waited outside.
You're an elected official. We have a right to ask you questions. Do you think the job you did that day was adequate, sir?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me,
Is there
sir.
anything you have to say to these victims' families? Is there anything that you have to say?
Shut up! I hope you also take care of his grandkids.
We'll force you
I
out.
hope so.
We're gonna force you out. One way or another, you're being forced out.
Talking about my son, por favor.
I mean, Shimon, how is it possible that a law enforcement agency in this day and age, so many years after Columbine, that they would not have an active shooter policy? I mean, I don't understand that. Does that mean they didn't go through active shooter training?
So some of them did go through training. The sheriff did not go through the training. But interestingly enough, Anderson, what we have found is that it's not required. It's not something that is required. Certainly legislators here, community members, people really hope that that changes come January as the legislators get back into session. It is mandatory for school police officers and chiefs for schools, but not for police officers in general. And you're right. How is it possible that after so many years post-Columbine that these schools, that some of these police departments don't have this policy in place? Many of the police departments do the training, but it's a question of policy and what exactly is being taught to some of these officers in these smaller departments. And quite honestly, Anderson, in talking to someone tonight, this person really just feels that the sheriff's office, other officials there just never thought something like this would happen in their town.
Shimon, stay with us. I want to bring in CNN senior law enforcement analyst Andrew McCabe, a former FBI deputy director. Andrew, so you heard Shimon's report. There's no active shooter policy in place at the time of the shooting, and that even today, the Uvalde County Sheriff himself still has not completed active shooter training. Just from a law enforcement perspective, what do you make of that? I mean, how important is having a policy in place?
Well, Anderson, for any law enforcement agency in this country of any size to not have an active shooter active shooter response policy in place or plan in place is just simply law enforcement malpractice, law enforcement leadership malpractice. There are so many resources at the federal level and at multiple state levels to provide that sort of guidance and training to law enforcement officers around the country. The result of massive legislative efforts, the Investigative Assistance for Violent Crimes Act in 2012 poured resources into it. The FBI has been out doing alert training, advanced law enforcement rapid response training for a decade now. If you go onto the DHS CISA website, you can see the massive resources that are available for any law enforcement executive to be able to access the latest information, the latest research, and to be able to actually line up training for their folks. So it's not, there's no, that is inexcusable.
And Andrew, I mean, you and I have talked about this for years. After Columbine shooting, law enforcement completely changed. FBI did a major survey and did major investigations, and law enforcement policy was changed to go in immediately. Whoever responds fast, team up, go in, neutralize the shooter. That's just universally accepted. It's not as if things have changed every single year in what the recommendation for law enforcement is. I mean, that's been in place now for quite some time.
It's been in place for over a decade. The only thing that changes from year to year is the number of mass shootings we have, and that number keeps going up dramatically. The FBI publishes, as you know, detailed research and reporting on that. And in fact, the Texas legislature did pass a law requiring, as Shimon indicated, a rapid response and active shooter response training for not just school police officers, but school resource officers. So any law enforcement officer who is assigned and providing services to a school, and that could certainly include officers in county sheriff's departments or city police departments. And the training they provide, and I have it right here, it's available online for anybody who wants to read it. It's a fascinating document. It perfectly tracks that state of the art that we've just been talking about, that standardized response, the priorities of what you're supposed to do when you show up at a scene, even if you're the only person, the fact that you have to put yourself at life's risk in order to try to stop that shooter from killing innocent civilians. You know, all that stuff is right there in the policy.
Shimon, when it comes to Uvalde Sheriff's Department training, what's changing? Is something changing?
So this policy certainly is now in place. There's a policy, this report today. This all comes because there was a report. The county hired someone. They did this report. They did not focus on anything, any of the failures that day. Instead, they said, we're just going to take a look at the policy. But there are still so many questions, as our really long investigation proved last week, about the actions of the sheriff. I mean, the community members want him out of office. He's elected, so it's going to be a little difficult. But also the actions by the deputies and what they exactly were doing. We don't have the answers to those questions because, as you can see, officials keep refusing to answer any questions. The sheriff has refused to answer any questions. We've gone back to him today to find out if he has any response to this report. Nothing. And that's what keeps happening. So we don't know. There's no transparency. And quite frankly, for the community members and for the kids who go to these schools in Uvalde, the parents are afraid because they don't know. They don't know what's going on. And they don't know if these officers can handle another situation like what happened on May 24th, Anderson.